first day of puppy training. Look at that. You're so good already. You're a natural. Oh my goodness. So I have Beyla's breakfast. Good girl. I have Beyla's breakfast in this cup right here, and we are just going to work on two things: sit and cool, calm, collected behavior. Because teaching cool, calm, collected behavior is something that you can teach all the time, nonstop, and it is just teaching them that they cannot demand things. They're not gonna bark at me, they're not gonna bite me, they're not gonna do all these things that puppies naturally do to get what they want. Instead, she's learning to do what I would like her to do to get the treats or to get her food, which right now is sit. She's already kind of like offering up a natural sit sometimes, which is great. But if you're starting from day one, here's how you would do this. You're gonna take a little piece of treat and you're gonna lure her in front of her nose and get her to follow it, just to make sure that she knows it's there, to make sure that she's interested in it. And then you're gonna take that in front of her nose and just bloop it up until her bottom is on the ground and those front paws are also on the ground. Yes, good girl. Okay, come over here. Come over here. And we're gonna take that. See, look, she's already sitting. And draw it up the nose. Not letting her have it yet. Yes. Yes. I'm waiting to make sure that bottom is fully on the ground and the front paws are also on the ground. You want to make sure that you are reinforcing the good behavior and the good body positions that you do want from the sit. Whatever you reinforce gets repeated. So we want to make sure that we're reinforcing, yes, good body positions in the sit. Yes, good girl. Yes. Good girl. As you can see, I'm not naming it anything right now. I'm not going to name the trick because that would mean nothing to her right now. We just want her to get the body position down. Yes. And eventually, as she's already kind of doing, you won't have to keep that treat like in front of her nose and lure her. You'll be able to kind of keep it farther and farther away, and she'll offer, yes, that body position. Once she's learning and she's connecting that, again, I want food, mom wants me to do this weird thing with my body, when I do that I get food, I'm gonna do that. Yes. And even right now I am 100% reinforcing any offered sits. Yes. Her offering those up without me asking, yes, or me luring, that is what we want. That's kind of the progression of teaching. But there's a whine there. Yes. I want to wait a little bit after the whine because we're not teaching about whining. But once she is starting to, yes, offer those body positions to me, I'm 100% going to reinforce those. And there's no Treatos in my hand. There's nothing in there. Yes, good girl. Now for the sake of the video, I'm going to show how you attach the name, but in real time, I would not be teaching the name until about a couple days of consistently giving me the body position I want, the patience that I want, offering it without me asking for it. Like, if she's able to do those things, that's when I will start introducing yes. But essentially you want to attach the name to the position, and in the beginning you want to attach it closer to the position, and then you start introducing that name longer and longer apart from when they're doing that. So when we're doing this and we're luring her and we're gonna be tilting her head back, sit, yes, you're saying the name as soon as her bottom hits the floor, because that is what we're associating. Her bottom hitting the floor is a sit. Their attention spans are so tiny that me asking her to do it too far in advance and her not doing it, or even if she does do it, it's probably not because I asked for it at this point. You want to make sure that she is associating the right things with the word. Sit, yes. And so this is very clearly bottom hits the floor, mom says some word, I get a treat. Eventually she's going to connect that word with bottom hitting the floor. Sit, yes. One key to doing this kind of training is a reward word or a marker cue. You can use a clicker. With Freya, I always use the word yes or yes. Yes. I'm not going to say the word there because she offered me the position, so her bottom's already on the ground. Again, we want to connect bottom hitting the ground with the name of the trick. Sit, yes. Consistency really matters here on, again, body positions, but how you are rewarding the behavior. So clickers, for example, yes, are really awesome because they're going to give the same sound every time, and your dog will learn that that sound means a treat and that sound means I'm doing something right. But the same thing can work for yes or any other words you want to use. Yes. Sit, yes. So every time she does this trick correctly, yeah. Yes, that's a good girl. I'm saying yes, and kind of the same tone, getting excited, making sure that she gets the praise, that she knows she's doing something right. Yes. And I'm going to give that another treat because, again, she's learning that sit gets her good things. And she's offering me that body position, and now she's staying in it. And that is what we want. Sit, yes. Sit, yes. Sit, yes. And now when you're wanting to test how much she knows or how much she's actually keeping track of, or if she knows what I'm saying means what I'm saying, that's when you'll start distancing the word from the trick. Yes. Right now we're saying it as she's doing the trick, and then now we can say it like as she's kind of going down into the trick. Sit. Yes. And then eventually you'll distance it from her standing straight up. Sit. Yes. Good girl. That was so good. That was so good. Oh my goodness. And for that one, we're going to get lots of Treatos because she actually did it. I wasn't sure if she was because, of course, this is day 1 of puppy training. Good girl. This right here is called jackpotting, whenever you're giving a lot of treats for something. Even if you have a big treat, breaking it up into tiny pieces and giving them one by one to your dog is way more rewarding than one big treat. Because to them, it's like getting 20 treats, even though it's one big treat, you know? So I gave her a ton of pieces of food for that sit because I asked her to do it when she was standing, and she did it. And I want her to know that, yes, that is exactly what I want. You are on the money. Good girl. You connected the dots. It's like playing hot and cold with your dog. When they're warm, it's a treat. When they're like on fire and they got it, that's jackpot, baby. Sit. Yay! Good girl. Same thing because she did it when I was standing up. That's so good, Bubbies. So good. And you keep that excitement up, and you make sure she knows that she's such a good girl and she did the trick so good because you're so smart. Yeah. I will say, do not get too ahead of yourself. Obviously, she's killing it right now at this very focused training session with food that she's very driven for because it's breakfast time and she hasn't eaten. So, of course, she's going to be like picking up on stuff so quickly. And that's why with Freya, I utilize, every meal for training. I hand fed every meal. I would highly recommend doing it and utilizing mealtime as training times because they're very driven to learn and to please you and to do the things that you want them to. Yes. However, this doesn't mean that out in the real world right now, if I just were to ask her to sit, that she would do it. She hasn't quite gotten like there yet. She's learning what's getting her food now, but the repetition and consistency is what will make these tricks workable in other locations and in other ways and whenever you're asking them in the real world. Sit. Yes. Good girl. Yes. We're going to keep training for the rest of her breakfast. We've still got tons and tons of food, but I hope this crash course on how to teach your puppy sit is helpful. If you guys have any questions, Yes, good girl. Side note, the same way that yes, it means you're doing a good job. Yes. For me, I've always trained with as my no word so that they know that I don't like that. You're not going to get what you want from that. Yes, I like that. You're going to get what you want from that. Again, playing hot or cold with that. Yes. But I hope this crash course in teaching your puppy how to sit was helpful. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. You can comment down below. I will get to literally all of them. I always answer every comment. Yes. And let me know what you guys want to see next. Yes. We will see you guys next week for another dog vlog. Bye.